Good evening and welcome to the nightcap of this Sunday triple header as the Minnesota Norse head into Edmonton at the Alberta Dome to take on the Edmonton Dinos. So the Dinos here against the Norse. The Dinos losing their first game of the season 7-6 to Calgary. Minnesota knocking off Calgary 5-2 just last night. So here we are ready for action and a trip right off the face-off. We saw this in our game earlier tonight as well as the Flame got a tripping penalty, and now it is Ricky Durant with a trip. We'll send Minnesota to the power play. Our goaltenders tonight, we have Daniel Rye in goal for the Edmonton Dinos and Eddie Salo getting the back-to-back starts, the Finnish goaltender for the Minnesota Norse. Edmonton in their black alternate uniforms here. One to Kovachenko. Kovachenko to Bjornsson. Cotier goes behind the net. Minnesota in their road whites. We'll flip it down ice. Kovachenko, the first one on it. Bure to McNaughton. Jace McNaughton cuts into the zone. McNaughton loses the puck to Westerman, and Westerman will get it down. First one on it, Kovachenko again. Goes cross ice to Bjornsson. Over to McNaughton. McNaughton staying wide. Looks to center. Bure goes wide. Cotier now behind the net. Ooh, and a good shot, McNaughton. I think it went off the outside of the cage. Kovachenko to Bjornsson. Back up. Bjornsson. Ooh, and it's knocked down by Daniel Rye. He'll keep play going. Westerman out to Alexiev. Alexiev will get it deep. Under a minute left here on the power play to start this game. Bjornsson behind his own net. Gets it up to Cotier. Alexiev loses it for a sec, but keeps control. Alexiev tries to fire and loses it. Cotier will come away. Serafin Cotier into the slot, and McNaughton can't get a piece of it. He's picked off by Edmonton. Kovachenko now behind the net. We'll get it up to Cotier. Cotier to McNaughton. Loses it. Olfsson there. Joel Olfsson. Gets it to Nikola. Nikola to Albrechtsen. Chris Rain in. Captain. Gets it to Bjornsson. Bjornsson down to Rain. Blocked away. And then a good shot. Another penalty here on Edmonton. And it'll be touched up. This one a slash going against Austin Janovich. So just as the penalty had expired, Janovich heads to the box for a slash. Is it Rain in the slot there? Yeah, just a little high on the hands. So Edmonton kills off that first power play. Or excuse me, yeah, the first man advantage for Minnesota, but now they go right back to it. Sorensen against Rain in the dock. Sorensen wins it to Westerman. Westerman tries to kick it up the boards. Konstantinov. Nikola down. Ooh, and Rye just gets a piece of it and will hold on. Minnesota, thanks to the two power plays, definitely looks like they have the better jump, at least to begin with. Rain against Sorensen again. Sorensen, the great face-off man, loses this one to Rain. Kovachenko down to Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen loses it to Sorensen. Barney Simonson will flip it down. First one on it will be Bjornsson. Bjornsson over to Langenberg. Low-key Langenberg loses it, and it'll be offsides. He came in for the puck there before he had control of the puck, you could say. Cotier will take the face off, lose it to Sorensen. Edmonton now with numbers. Westerman loses it to Bure with the cross ice pass. Bure now with speed. Bure shot, knocked down. Ooh, they had an opportunity, but Rocco Biondi will get it away. Sorensen loses it to Kovachenko. Minute 10 left on the power play. Cotier pressed to the boards by Biondi. Bure with that speed gets to the front, and Barney Simonson able to get there and flick it out for Edmonton. Bjornsson, the first one on it. Bjornsson gets it up to McNaughton. McNaughton loses it to Sorensen. Sorensen will flip it out. So Minnesota too much going back and forth. They haven't had much sustained zone time on this power play. Bjornsson now up to Cotier. Cotier to McNaughton. Shot knocked away by Rye. And now Cotier, he'll get bodied there by Westerman. It's flipped down the ice. First one on it will be Konstantinov. 20 seconds left here on that second power play for the Minnesota Norse. Langenberg over to Albrechtsen. Albertson to Rain. Rain, a pad stop by Daniel Rye. And now Ralph Sorensen will flip it out, and that will do it for the power play for the Norse. So good 2 quick penalty kills. See if they can get some momentum from this, are the Dinos. Westerman there. Knocked away, Langenberg. Get it up to Konstantinov. He loses it. Konstantinov now to the slot. Shot! Oh, rings off the post. Albertson now up high to Nikola. And knocked down. Oh, and Rain scores! Chris Rain is able to trickle it through Daniel Rye. Good opportunities. Konstantinov put it off the post. They got it up to Nikola. Konstantinov then with the slap shot from the point gets knocked down. And Chris Rain able to hop on top of it and just slip it right through Daniel Rye. So the Norse take an early 1-0 lead here in Edmonton. This is the home opener for the Dinos. They lost their road game to Calgary the other night. Rain now with an opportunity again. Will be knocked away by Rye. Stafford Spears in his own corner. Albertson tries to get free, and Stafford Spears puts him through the boards. Ozol's shot, glove stop by Salo. Salo in for the Minnesota Norse. Their franchise goaltender, at least that's what they're hoping he could become. He is crucially important to this Norse team and this Norse franchise. One of their first picks in the first-year draft. Salo with a glove stop. He'll get it out to Nikola. Nikola poked away. He'll retreat. Pressed to the boards by Ozols. Out to Cesaro. Cesaro loses it. Campbell now. Campbell will lose it to Ozols. Down to Kovac, and they score! Ben Campbell! Great play from this third line. Go Dinos, go indeed. It'll be Ben Campbell set up by Jurek Kovac and Philip Ozols. So the Dinos roar right back. Get this to a 1-1 game here in the first. 15 minutes left, just 7 minutes gone here in the first period. Olfsson down low, gets it sticked away. Sikora. Cesaro now to Nikola. Over to Ramsey. Ramsey will exit the zone with Gavrikchuk. Gavrikchuk had a 2-goal game against Calgary the other night. See what he can do for an encore performance here in Edmonton. Langenberg. Dietrich Langenberg goes wide. Yes, we will have 2 Langenbergs playing tonight, playing against each other. They do not know each other. Dietrich Langenberg comes from Canada. Loki Langenberg from Finland. They just happen to have the same last name, I guess. No family relation or anything. Loki Langenberg with the shot. He's knocked away by Rye. Tuominen gets it taken away. Poisaris coming away. He has room. Shot. Knocked away. Loki Langenberg now with it. To the Tuominen. Tuominen gets it to Kovachenko before he gets hit. Kovachenko will flip it deep. Janovic the first one on it, and Langenberg presses him to the boards. Now Poisaris away with it. Going to be a penalty on Minnesota here. I believe a hold or an interference call in the corner. They're going to call a slash. Never mind. Loki Langenberg, we just talked about him. He will head to the box with a slashing call. So he gets the hands up. Gets up on the hands, of Ozols. So Sorensen against Kovachenko. Tudor Vladimirescu with a pad stop by Salo. He had it at point-blank range, and Minnesota will get on it and get it out. Just 15 seconds gone by in this power play. Stafford Spears loses it. Sorensen the first one on for Edmonton. Simonson now up to Vladimirescu. Vladimirescu tries to cut wide, and Konstantinov gets there first, flips it high, and out of the zone. Stafford Spears up to Sorensen. Simonson has an opportunity. Oh, and it's sticked away by Konstantinov. Vladimirescu knocked down by Salo. So Eddie Salo, the goaltender for the Norse, able to hold on and will keep play stopped right there. Katya Gavrikchuk will win the faceoff away from Sorensen. Nikola flips it out. First one on will be Stafford Spears. He'll get it up to Vladimirescu, who will go cross ice to Simonson. Simonson in. Now to Vladimirescu, blocked down by Nikola. Stafford Spears, off the post! He rang that and it came right back to Salo. Thankfully, he didn't back it into his own goal. So good opportunities here from Edmonton. Again, Minnesota had the legs early, and now Edmonton coming with a little more pace on the Norse here. at home. Stafford Spears, sticked away by Albrechtsen. Sorensen now with it. He'll turn. Gets it up to Simonson. Vladimirescu. Back to Sorensen. Gloved away. And a score! Who is that? Ralph Sorensen. I believe Barney Simonson, the one that will set that one up. So 2 quick goals here by the Edmonton Dinos. So the Minnesota Norse, many coming in thinking they were the favorites in this game, had the jump the first 6 minutes of the game, got that goal by Chris Rain, and now it has been Edmonton who has carried the play as of late. So we have 8.5 minutes left here in the first period. Bronislav Bure in, sticked away. And Alexiev will get tripped, so another penalty coming here on the Norse. Sorensen sticked away, and Cotier will get a stick on that. So there'll be a trip there right in the middle of the ice. Jason McNaughton this time, number 88. Oh, that's sweet. Hey, McNaughton, I named my dog after you. That's very sweet. How about that, huh? You have an odd name, McNaughton, for a dog, but who am I to judge? So Langenberg against Kovac in the dock. And Stantonov will come free with it after the win by Kovac. So Edmonton back on the power play. They just got one from Ralph Sorensen. McCoy belted there by Kovac. Boiseris to Langenberg. And the pad stopped by Salo. Almost got through the Finnish goaltender. Kovac will be back in the faceoff dot. Going up against Ricky Durant this time. Telling Ramacurs this is where I want to put it. McCoy now with it. Pad stop, and they scored! Diedrich Langenberg! So 3 goals here in the first for the Dinos. And the Norse have not come to play this evening. Zols and Kovachenko will step in. Stafford Spears away with it. Campbell over to Petrovic. Petrovic to Kovac. Kovac to Ozols. And they will come out of the zone. Still 7 minutes left here in the first. Petrovic has an opportunity. Kovac down. Ozols! Stopped by... Oh, and it's a free. Salo made the first stop. Petrovic over to Campbell. Campbell to Kovac. Down low to Ozols. Ozols, oh, just goes wide of Salo. Kovac now in the corner. Campbell there with it. Petrovic, this third line looking good. Kovac goes just wide. Ozols with it. Now down, Petrovic over to Campbell on the far boards. Kovac in the high slot. Tumanen will stick it away and take it away for the Norse. Kovachenko in. Kovachenko cuts wide. It's been a while since the last shot for the Norse. Kovachenko, Langenberg with it. And there's going to be another penalty here. This one on Tumanen. Nurse on Kovachenko. So disappointing. I don't think he named his dog Kovachenko though. Not in Kovachenko, that'd be a wild pack of dogs right there. Kovachenko get the stick in. So Minnesota with undisciplined play so far, leading to a 3-1 lead for the Edmonton Dinos. Sorensen will get it away. Vladimirescu to Stafford Spears. Blocked away. Cesaro the first one on it for the Norse. Cesaro will skate free. Up to Bjornsson. And Simonson now will turn back for Edmonton. Simonson wide. Gets it down to Stafford Spears. Blocked away. In front, Sorensen. Oh, and he tried to make one too many moves, I think. I think if he just tries to fire that high over the blocker, he beats Salo, but he tries to get to his backhand. Unable to. Nikola in the slot. Gets it knocked away. First one on is Bjornsson. Cesaro to the corner. Sorensen on it for Edmonton. Stafford Spears will turn. Vladimirescu now. Breakout pass to Sorensen. Sorensen across the line with Simonson. The trailer. Durant. Shot knocked down. Ooh. Simonson had a chance, but he couldn't quite get a stick and corral that. So Langenberg will go up against Kovac in the face-off dot. One to Durant. Shot knocked down. Looked like it was Conrad McCoy. Kovac with it. Kovac will lose to Konstantinov. Kovac scoops in to get it on the boards. Konstantinov for Minnesota. Over to Albrechtsen. Albertson shot knocked down by Rye. Stafford Spears clears it away from danger. Poisaris now in. Garrett Poisaris cutting in off the post. That close to a fourth goal early in this game for the Dinos. Poisaris again, this one blocked by Ramakers. Matty Albrechtsen now away. The Danish forward to Kovac. Jura Kovac taken away by Stafford Spears. Ooh, and belted there, Konstantinov. Now trying to get it away will be Konstantinov. Kovac with it. Now over to Ramakers. Ramakers almost turns it over. Kovac now away with it. Back to even strength here. Kovac goes wide with the shot. It'll come all the way back into the Minnesota zone with McNaughton. He turns it over. Langenberg, tried to get it out in front to McCoy. Couldn't quite get it to him. Now up to Durant. McCoy with opportunity. Poisaris, glove stopped by Salo. So 2:27 left here in the first period. Edmonton with a 3-1 lead here at home against the Minnesota Norse. This is the final game of our triple header. We had some interesting games earlier this evening. Toronto with the first shutout as they shut out New York 6-0. Pad stop there. Salo now. And then our highest scoring game in PIHANA history with Boston netting 10 goals on the Ottawa Mounties. Ottawa themselves got 6, so 16 total goals for the two teams there. Alexiev now across the line. Gets belted by Sikora. Bure, the first one on it for Minnesota. He'll lose it. McCoy at the point. Petrovic down low to Sorensen. He'll lose it. Battle for the puck. Alexiev comes away with it. Over to Stafford Spears. To McCoy. To Alexiev. Cross ice to Sorensen. He'll lose it to Cotier. Cotier will turn it over. McCoy now with an opportunity. He'll skate wide with it. Now we'll cut in. Shot. Sikora. I believe that was blocked down in front. Cotier. Now with a chance. It's right in front of in Rye, but Campbell will come away with it for Edmonton with just 5 seconds left in the period. Petrovic to Kovac. And they'll get it out of the zone, and that will do it for the first period of action here in Edmonton. Edmonton's home opener, and they came out with the right energy. They lead after the first period 3-1 on 2 power play goals. There, Langenberg with a second power play goal for the Dinos. So we will head to the first intermission. 3-1, Edmonton leads after 1. All right, welcome back to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, as the Dinos with a 3-1 lead take on the Minnesota Norse. 2 power play goals there in the first for Edmonton. We'll get right into the action. Simonson now, taken away by Bure. Back to Stafford Spears. Simonson knocked down by Salo. McNaughton behind the net will get it out to Bjornsson. Bjornsson up to Cotier. Cotier to McNaughton, and Rye will stop it there. Daniel Rye, the American goaltender. Bit of a rough outing. He had stretches that he was really good against Calgary the other night. He has not been tested as much here in the first period, I would say. So we'll see if that consistency can continue or if we see kind of the same inconsistent Daniel Rye. Cotier in now. Shot. Pad save there by Rye. Stop and knocked down by Rye, and he will hold on to that one. So it was Cotier. Is it Code? Cotier? Yeah. Pronounce it how I want, right? I believe it's Code. Kovac loses the draw to Durant. Now Petrovic up with it. Over to Durant. He'll break out. He'll now cross into the Minnesota zone. Centers to Simonson. Knocked away by Salo. Albertson, sticked away by Durant. Vladimirescu. Yep, and that'll be a penalty. I think a hook or a slash something. Yep, a slash there. Oh, and Ricky Durant, my bad. I was thinking it was on Minnesota. No, Ricky Durant will head to the box. So the one thing I think you don't really want to give Minnesota any breathing room here. And so now on the power play, Minnesota have space, be able to pass that puck around like they like to do and see if they can get one past Daniel Rye here. Big face-off here. Rain wins it. Kovachenko blocker save by Rye. Shot. Glove stopped by Rye as Bjornsson was stepping into the slot. Coutier against Alexiev. Coutier wins it. Nikola over to Konstantinov. Down low to Coutier, and he turns it over to Alexiev. He was looking for Bure. Maybe cutting to the net, and Bure, just a miscommunication or a bad pass there. Not quite sure. Either way, Minnesota back into the zone now. Bure to Coutier in the slot, and a pad saved by Rye. Good stop there. And Bure tried to get it low, and it was picked off. McNaughton will violate the offside rule. Comes outside the line, tries to put it back in, and no go. So Minnesota outside the zone, still on the power play. Edmonton so far with the lion's share of face-off victories. And they will get this one as well. Campbell up with it. Flip it in. Nikola with it. Nikola over to McNaughton. McNaughton tries to cut through Janovic, and he can't. Janovic. Bure steals it. McNaughton now in the low slot. Bure goes wide of the net. Olofsson there for Edmonton. Olofsson bodied by Coutier. Bure loses it now to Olofsson. Olofsson sticking with the play. A good stick there by the defenseman to get it away from the sniper, Bronislav Bure. Now Bure with speed. And try to attack in. Stops. Turns it over to Campbell, and Campbell will flip it out. Just 30 seconds left here on the Minnesota power play. Nikola behind the net. Up to Langenberg. Langenberg sticked away. Still, Janovic, he had room. He decides to flip it down, and Loki Langenberg will be the first one there for Minnesota. Bjornsson now up to Albertson. They have numbers. Albertson with Rain. Rain! Tries to go to the backhand and can't get it through. Rain now in front. To Langenberg, stopped by Rye. Olofsson now out with it. Janovic. Durant out of the penalty box. Durant bodies. Cut through, and he scores! I believe that was deflected down in front. Does not matter. Ricky Durant gets it through Eddie Salo. So a fourth goal set up by Janovic and Olofsson this time as Ricky Durant out of the penalty box. Comes in, absorbs the check, and gets to the front and scores. So a 4-1 lead here for Edmonton in the second period, just under 5 minutes into this second period. Chris Rain now away with it. Up to Kovac. Rain will take it now. Rain in. And he'll lose it to Sorensen. Alexiev gets it to Sorensen. Now up to McCoy. Conrad McCoy. That's in. Goes wide. Petrovic on it. Sorensen in the slot. Blocked away. Chris Rain. And he tried to get it free. Could not quite get free of the bodies of Edmonton. Conrad McCoy. Cutting in. Tries to center. Konstantinov wise to that. Gets it away. Rain. Down low to Kovac. Kovac will lose it. Stafford Spears and Petrovic, it looks like we're there. McCoy loses it to Konstantinov. Ramsey over to Cesaro. Cesaro looking to cut in. Loses it to Sorensen. Gavrikchuk, and a good stop by Rye. Stafford Spears pressed to the boards. Sorensen there with it. Simonson. Up to Vladimirescu. Vladimirescu loses it. Gavrikchuk. Edmonton able to get back. Well, that rush opportunity. Konstantinov, and a good shot, and Rye able to see through the traffic and make the glove stop. So shots are even, 20 apiece in this game, but 4 have gotten past Salo, 1 has gotten past Daniel Rye. Serafin Coutier loses it to to Durant. Over to Westerman. Westerman up to Vladimirescu. Vladimirescu cuts in. It's knocked away. Simonson had an opportunity in front, but it's knocked away. Top line against top line here with 11:20 left here in the second. Bure in front. Ooh, and Rye able to stop it at point-blank range. Cotier out to Nicola. Cotier in the slot. And it's stopped by Daniel Rye. So 11 minutes left here in the second period. 4-1 lead for Edmonton. Westerman will carry it away. Up to Simonson. Simonson bodied there. Bure trying to get it free. They'll come to Westerman. Westerman up to Durant. Durant cutting wide. Put on the brakes. Gets it over to Biondi. Trying to get it down low, and it misses Durant. Sikora comes out with it. McNaughton. Shot gets blocked away. Vladimirescu on it for Edmonton. We'll get it up to Simonson. Simonson bodied there. We'll flip it down. No icing on the play. We're going to say it was deflected or knocked away from Simonson. Sikora loses it to Bassani. Vasile Bassani. Oh, and a glove stop on Garrett Poisaris. Vasile Bassani, who did not play in their opening game against Calgary. Interesting, I think just because of the amount of penalties. He doesn't kill penalties. He's not on the power play. But it seemed like he was not able to get in there. Petrovic now. Bassani to Poisaris. And stopped by Salo. So just over 9 minutes left here in the second period. Edmonton with a 4-1 lead. Salo being tested here. Edmonton been the more physical team on Minnesota thus far. Edmonton wins the draw. Petrovic blocked down. Bassani, glove stop by Salo. And he will stop play right there. Kovachenko loses it. We'll end up getting the puck back. Kovachenko off the boards up to Tuominen. Tuominen will flip it in. First one there is Langenberg. Langenberg, tries to come to the front of the net, but Petrovic able to read that and get it away. Sorensen now gets to the red line, crosses into the zone, stays wide, goes to the corner. Sikora belts him there. Alexiev up to Stafford Spears. He turns it over to Langenberg. Langenberg wide to Tuominen. Olofsson right off the bench, able to pick that one off. Stafford Spears now, deflected away by Kovachenko. Alexiev gets it across to McCoy. McCoy pressed by Tuominen. And it'll stay in the zone. Langenberg to Kovachenko. Down to Tuominen, and it gets knocked away. Olofsson with 7 minutes left here in the second. Press to the boards. Langenberg away for it for Minnesota. Behind the net. Langenberg on his backhand. Can't get a shot off. Stafford Spears up to McCoy. To Alexiev. Alexiev. Down front. Sikora able to get it away from the net. Kovac now. Cutting in. Loses it to Olofsson. Olofsson. Just $1 million player there. Sikora picks off the pass. Albertson now in. Chris Rain in. Ralph Sorensen picked off by Albertson. Albertson loses it. Kovac now into the zone. To Rain, the goal scorer for Minnesota. He cuts to the slot. Tries to get it to Kovac, and it's deflected away by Olofsson. Olofsson up to Campbell. Campbell almost loses it. Now Bjornsson battles with him at the boards. Ozul's in there with him too. Campbell gets it wide to Kovac. Kovac down low. And an opportunity. It's like Ricky Durant. Bure now up with it for Minnesota. Minnesota into the zone. Knocked away. McNaughton. It's gloved down in front. Durant will come free for Edmonton. Knocked off the puck by Bure. Cotier. Come away to McNaughton. It'll be Olofsson. Long shift for Joel Olofsson. Can't get off. Too much up and down action. Bure in front. And a good poke check by Daniel Rye as he gets it out of there. Simonson to Janovic. Janovic up to Vladimirescu. Vladimirescu will dump it down. Allow some players to get off for a change. Bjornsson for Minnesota, the first one on it. 2.5 minutes left here in the second. Cesaro cutting wide. Loses the puck for a second. Gets back on it. Gavrchuk loses it to Petrovic. Petrovic up to Durant. Durant will turn. Turns it over to Bjornsson. Up to Ramsey for Minnesota. Ramsey loses it. Now in the slot. Good poke check by Rye. Going to be a penalty here on Minnesota. Petrovic now. Dmitry Petrovic. Over to Durant on the far side. Durant still with it. Shot. Knocked down by Salo, and he will stop play right there. So another penalty, a trip this time. Will come to Gabriel Chazaro. Trip on, is that Kovac there? Or maybe it was Petrovic. All right, so Minnesota back to the kill. Edmonton has been really good on the power play so far tonight. That was kind of one of the difference makers for them against Calgary the other night in their loss. Albrechtsen now out with it. Albrechtsen cuts wide, stays in the corner, gets it up to Ramakers, turned over. And Langenberg, Diedrich Langenberg for Edmonton will come out. He'll get to the red line and dump it deep. Peter Ramakers, they're the first on it. Kovachenko will fight with him there. McCoy, Kovachenko, Ramakers now away with it. Ramakers behind his own net. Loops in front. Loses it to McCoy. McCoy, gets blown up by Nershan Kovachenko. Hoyceris, pad stop by Salo. And he will hold on. So just 25 seconds left here in the period. Unless Edmonton can score, we will have some carryover time into the third period. One back, but thrown out of the zone by Edmonton. Chris Rain, the first one on it for Minnesota. He will stick with it and then get bodied by Sorensen. Loose, Bjornsson. And now Sorensen with 6 seconds will come out of the zone. Up to Vladimirescu. Maybe with one chance. Vladimirescu blocked aside by Salo. And that is going to do it for the second period here. So just one goal in the period, making it now a 4-1 Edmonton lead. As Ricky Durant coming off the side, and it was deflected home, but Durant will get the goal. So 4-1 Edmonton after 40 minutes. We will head to an intermission and be right back here with you for the third period from Edmonton. All right, welcome back for the third and final frame here from Edmonton. As Edmonton, the Dinos lead 4-1 over the Minnesota Norse. Headed to the third period, Edmonton will have a power play, and that'll be offsides on the Dinos. Not popping up on the score bug, so I'm not sure how much time they're going to have. I believe it was right around a minute, if I'm not mistaken. 40 seconds now. So Sorensen against Kovachenko in the face-off dot. Sorensen will win it away. Durant over to Simonson. Simonson bodied there by Nikola. Albrechtsen now away with it. Matty Albrechtsen. Minnesota needing something here. Over to Kovachenko. Vladimirescu will lose it in his own zone. Stafford Spears pressed there by Albrechtsen. Vladimirescu tries to get away and Kovachenko blows him up. Kovachenko now with it. In the high slot. Shot. Score! Nershan Kovachenko with the shorthanded goal. Edmonton just kind of let him walk into the slot and nobody took him away. They just sort of let him have room and he buries it past Daniel Rye. So the shorthanded goal makes it a 4-2 game. 9 seconds left on the power play for Edmonton. Minnesota will win it. Ramakers coming in across the line to Tumanen. Ooh, and it just goes wide. Gavrilchuk behind the net. Power play is over. Konstantinov to Ramakers. Ramakers and a glove stop by Rye. He will halt play right there. So less than 30 seconds in, I believe 25 seconds. And Minnesota now gets it within 2. Edmonton is still dominating in the faceoff dot. That probably feels like why Minnesota hasn't been able to get the offensive pressure that they had the other night in Calgary. Rain with the turnover. Ooh, just put wide. And now a penalty on Edmonton. An interference call on Darian Stafford Spears. How his name fits on that jersey, I'm not quite sure. But So a power play coming up here for Minnesota. Down 2 goals. Edmonton just sort of bumping. I'm not sure if that was Code or not. So Seraphin Cody. Yeah, I'll just go with Cody. So Westerman will come away with it. Westerman flips it out. Konstantinov, the first one on it for Minnesota. Konstantinov gets it up. McNaughton now. McNaughton cutting in. Bure in deep. Can't get it through. Edmonton will flip it out. An important kill here for Edmonton to keep it a 2-goal game here in the third period. Remember, they had a 1-goal lead against Calgary going to the third, and they lost that. Biondi gets it away from danger as Minnesota put it on net. And they lost it, giving up a goal with about 3.5 minutes left. The game winner to Albin Wilkinson, of Calgary the other night. Minnesota unable to really get anything generated there on the power play. Just a minute left here. Bure in across the line. Still in with it. Bure, the first one to it in the corner. He's met there by Westerman. They'll try to kick it to the corner and Biondi for Edmonton. The first one on it, and he flips it out. Edmonton taking no chances. They get possession. They're getting it right the heck out. Turned over at the line. Now McNaughton with it for Minnesota. They'll stop. Konstantinov, Nikola. Stick to side by Rai. And Nikola behind the net tried to get it out in front, and it was turned over to Westerman. So 20 seconds left. Enough time for another rush here for Minnesota. 17 minutes left here in the third period. Oh, and turned over. Biondi loses it to Cody. Cody over to Nikola. Nikola to McNaughton. Just 5 seconds left on the power play. Cody, tries to get it down to Bure, and Rai sniffs that one out. Good poke check there in the middle. I'm not sure if the power play is ended or if there's 1 more second left on. It looks like they have 1 more second, and then Stafford Spears will be out of the box. So Campbell can get this win. He does. Holtzen up to Ozuls, and they get it out. Stafford Spears with it. Loses it to Langenberg, and Stafford Spears will head right to the bench. Langenberg flips it in. Olsen now with it. Olsen up to Ozuls. Ozuls loses it to Kovachenko. Rest of the boards there. Edmonton now out with it. Albertson gets slashed by Ozuls. Shot! Knocked away by Rai, and Janovich will get on it. Ozuls with the slash right in near center ice there. So another power play here for Minnesota. Edmonton just sort of, you just keep that door ajar. No telling when Edmonton might just burst, when Minnesota might just burst through and turn this game on its head. They have been perfect so far on the kill. They're going to need to be perfect to keep this a 2-goal game here with 15:33 left here in the third. Turned over. Simonson with a good read of the play, trying to get it towards the slot. Konstantinov now away with it. Up to Loki Langenberg. Loki puts in, cuts wide, gets it down. Albertson, and good pad save by Rai. Might have trickled off the glove as well. Chris Rain deflected to the corner. Petrovic and Campbell battle there with Albertson and Langenberg. Langenberg, Loki gets Nikola, scores! So Loki Langenberg sets up Henrik Nikola for the power play goal. Henrik Nikola makes it just a 1-goal game here in Edmonton. Under 15 minutes, just over 5 minutes gone here so far. Albertson the other assist with Langenberg. Cody comes in, gets it to Bure. And a good stop by Rai. That was big. Another good stop by Rai. Minnesota putting on the pressure that we kind of expected to see earlier. We now have a 4-3 game. Sorensen against Cody. Sorensen will win it. McNaughton belted there. Alexiev, McCoy. McCoy will circle. He loses the puck in his own zone. Fighting for it on the boards, and he comes away with it. Conrad McCoy. Blown up by Henrik Nikola. Cody comes in. Tries to get it down low to Bure. And it sneaks behind Rai, but goes wide. A good setup there by Cody to Bure. Unable to get it through Rai. Pisani up to Poisaris. Garrett Poisaris, glove stop by Salo. I believe that might have been his first stop of the third period, as he has not been tested yet. Henrik Nikola The goal to get it to just a one-shot game, basically. Minnesota trails 4-3 here in Edmonton. 13:05 left here in the third. Nikla will get away with it. We'll get it up to Tumanen. Tumanen up to Kovachenko. Kovachenko across the line. Kovachenko in. Shot! Langenberg. Ooh, and it's poked away by Rye. Tries to get it out in front to Tumanen, and it's knocked away again by Rye. And Diedrich Langenberg, the Edmonton Dino, will come away with it to Bassani. Up to Poisaris. Poisaris will try to retreat in his own zone. Olofsson down the wall. Poisaris now out in front. Gets tripped. Shot! Bassani stops it. Maybe there isn't a penalty there. I could have swore that Poisaris was chipped in front, but does not look like a call is coming. So 4-3, 11:38 here left. Edmonton with the lead. At home, their home opener. Minnesota, second game on this road trip as they were in Calgary last night. We'll see if the fatigue has anything to set in as they play their second game in as many nights. Kovac knocked away. Janovic now in his own zone gets it up to Ozuls, who just took a penalty to give Minnesota the goal to make it a one-goal game. Nikola. Rain now up with it. Rain across the line. Body there by Janovic. Kovac will come up with it. Kovac over to Ozuls. Not only are there two Langenbergs, there's two Kovacs in this game as well. Campbell knocked away. Oh, and we're going to have a fight. Sikora, and I can't tell who is that for. Oh, it is Kovac. So you're a Kovac against Martin Sikora. Martin Sikora from Minnesota. Kovac, the Czech product from Czechia. It's a good right hook in there. Undercut, and he will go down. So Jura Kovac gets the win over Martin Sikora. Sikora, the assistant captain for the Norse. We will stay at 5-on-5 after the fight, and it will be down in the Minnesota end. Durant to face off against Milos Kovac. Again, they don't know each other. They're from the same country, though, at least. Simonson knocked away. Albrechtsen will come away with for Minnesota. Just under halfway through this third period. Albrechtsen down to Rain. Rain stopped by Rye. And Daniel Rye will hold on to it there. So another face-off here in the Edmonton zone. It'll be Durant against Cody. Shot blocked away. Cody down low to Burry, and a good stop by Rye. Durant clears it up to Stafford Spears. Stafford Spears in across the line. He will stay wide. Durant. Alexiev bodied there. Cody will come away with it. 8:45 left here in the third period. Knocked down the boards. Stafford Spears up to Petrovic. Petrovic in across the line. Gets it to Durant. Durant in. Loses it to Burry. Oh, but Durant gets it right back. Down the boards. Alexiev tries to go short side. Knocked away by Salo. Nikola in there with it. Now Alexiev. Bodied there by Dalton. Dalton sticks with it. Cody away with it. Up to Burry. Burry now in. Ooh, and he gets belted by Stafford Spears. Janovic loses it to McNaughton. Burry down the boards, gets hit again by Stafford Spears. Burry slow to get up. Poisaris, McNaughton back to Konstantinov. He tries to center it, and Simonson picks that one off. Konstantinov loses it there. Dalton will have it behind his own net. He circles around, gets it up to McNaughton. McNaughton almost loses it, now in to Kovachenko. Knocked down. Ooh, and an opportunity by Tumanen. Just couldn't quite square it up and get it through. Olofsson almost turns it over. Poisaris now away. Poisaris cuts in, knocked down by Konstantinov. Ozuls to Poisaris. Shot. Scores! Garrett Poisaris makes it a 5-3 game here in Edmonton. Just 5.5 minutes left. See, he goes short side on Salo and beats him. Tuminen almost turns it over. Konstantinov, and just goes wide. Rye might have got a piece of that on the way in. Loki Langenberg tries to go at it and just misses. Deflected on net. And Rye comes up with the save. Rye being tested here. Minnesota coming full bore at the young goaltender. Olofsson now pressed to the boards by Langenberg. Kovachenko in there. Olofsson comes away with it for Edmonton. Olofsson to the middle to Bassani. Bassani over to Ozols. Ozols steps in. Knocked away. Still with it. Ozols, tries to get to the front. Can't quite get it through. Salo with the stop. Bjornsson to Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen stops, retreats. Gets it across to Kovac. Kovac, tries to go down low. Edmonton going to have an opportunity here. Alexiev. Press to the boards. He gets through Albrechtsen, though. Stafford Spears up high. Goes wide. Bjornsson now up to Chris Rain. Chris Rain with under 3 minutes to go. Down 2. He will stop. Retreat. Get it to Konstantinov. He gets blocked. Kept in the zone. Goes to Kovac. Kovac to Rain. Blocked. Another block by Edmonton as Conrad McCoy gets it away. Chris Rain now in. Deflected away by Petrovic. Sorensen now up with it. We're in the territory that Minnesota can get possession in their zone. You will probably see Salo sprint to the bench. Sorensen to Alexiev. Nikola now up to Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen in. They have possession still. Salo staying in net. And it probably was a good opportunity, but a good decision as well. As Conrad McCoy with just a minute left. Alexiev in front. Goes wide. Dalton now with it behind the net. Nikola will come up to Cody. And there it is. Salo headed to the bench. Cody blocked down in front. They try to get it free. And that is going to be a penalty on Seraphin Cody. A slash in. Pretty obvious call. And that might just be the end for Minnesota here tonight as they trail by 2 and now will head to the kill. Stafford Spears trying to get rid of it, and Portier just in too far on the hands. So Edmonton up 5-3, 49 seconds left. Looking like they're going to be able to come away with the win here. Konstantinov loses it. Cesaro down to Salo. He keeps play going. They got to get going. 44 seconds left. Ramaker's belted. Langenberg will flip it down low. Ramakers, you're just trying to keep it in your own zone if you're Edmonton. Ramakers tries to go cross ice. Bassani. Vasile Bassani now away with it. He'll cut to the middle. Shot. Knocked down. Ramakers away with it for Minnesota. Kovachenko with 20 seconds left. They go with the empty net. There's on Kovachenko. Shot knocked down by Rye. And he will hold on to that there. Just under 18 seconds left away from the Edmonton Dinos' first win in franchise history. And just the second win for a home team. Oddly enough, both of them have been in the province of Alberta. Calgary winning on opening night over these Edmonton Dinos, and then the Edmonton Dinos now just 12 seconds away. They try to get to the open net, and Durant gets it blocked. Nikola pressed to the boards there with 5 seconds left. It will come down into the Minnesota zone, and that is going to do it for us here in Edmonton as the Dinos come away with their home win, their first win in the Norse, their first loss on the season. So a great performance from Edmonton. They go down a goal early. I think Daniel Rye, you got to give a lot of credit to that kid. He didn't have a great game in Calgary. They stick with him. They're confident that he can still do the job, and he does a good job here tonight, allowing 3 to a very, very good Minnesota team. Eddie Salo, pretty disappointing off the back-to-back. You wonder maybe they should have gone with Matejka, their backup goalie from Minnesota. Either way, does not matter. A 5-3 Edmonton win here at home, their first win in franchise history. So that is going to do it for us here in Edmonton. We will have post-game coverage coming up for you here in a little bit. But that is it for us here in Edmonton. Join us for post-game coverage here in a little bit. Thank you for joining us for post-game coverage here late night in Edmonton. as the Edmonton Dinos come away with a win 5-3 over the Minnesota Norse. So as we take a look at the team stats there, Minnesota 39 shots on goal, Edmonton 34. Hits 35-29 in favor of Edmonton. Again, that face-off dot, we saw it in our game earlier with Boston as well. Edmonton kind of dominating Minnesota 31-16 in the face-off dot. Penalty minutes identical at 15. Edmonton just one better on the power play. 2 of 5. Minnesota only able to go 1 for 5, and that was Nikola late to get it to a 1-goal game in the third period. So up until that point, nothing doing for the Norse on the power play. So now let's head to the individual stats. We will start with the winners, the home team, the Edmonton Dinos. So Garrett Poisaris, bit of an unexpected bright spot for Edmonton early in this season, a fourth liner who has come up big with 3 points already on this young season. Philip Ozols with 2 assists, Joel Olfsson also with 2 assists, so 2 points for each of them. Ben Campbell with another goal, Conrad McCoy an assist, Jurek Kovac, Ralph Sorensen, Diedrich Langenberg, and Ricky Durant, all with goals. And then you have Janovic, Vladimir Rescue, and Simonson with assists. So again, Stafford Spears, no points. A little disappointing from their top D-man, but he's been good. He's logged a ton of minutes, and he's been hitting just about everything in sight, it feels like. Petrovic, that top D pair of Petrovic and Spears, I don't know how much offense they're going to need from them. If they keep up these numbers right now, Edmonton, they're looking pretty solid in their forward group offensively. Westerman again, Alexiev, you probably would like to see more, but he is a lot more of a power forward than a scoring forward. So that is the individual stats. We look at hits. Ralph Sorensen had 5. I saw Stafford Spears had 5 as well. Alexiev with 4, Biondi with 4. And that is it. Notable for hits. We go to the goalie. Daniel Rye with a great performance here. 39 shots faced and 36 saves for a .923. He gives up 3 goals. Much better than his first performance against Calgary, where he only had 22 saves on 29 shots for a .759 save percentage. So a very good bounce back from Daniel Rye after a day of rest in between games. That is it for the Edmonton Dinos. We will head to the losers, in this case, the Minnesota Norse. Henrik Nikola with 36 minutes logged a good performance out of him with a goal and 2 assists. He was in on every scoring opportunity or scoring play for the Norse tonight. Konstantinov with an assist, Albrechtsen with an assist, Kovachenko and Rain both with goals, and then Loki Langenberg with an assist. But you'll notice that top line, Bure, 0s across the board. Cody, 0s across the board. And McNaughton, 0s and a -1 across the board. So not great out of that top line. Tumanen, Gavrchuk, and Cesaro, not great tonight. Yeah. I mean, you have to expect more out of your top line. I think that's probably where this game is determined. And you're getting the depth scoring with Nikola getting a goal and Kovachenko and Rain on your second. And I think Kovachenko might be on the third line. I'm not totally for certain on that. But either way, you're getting enough of the depth scoring with 3 goals from not normal guys. Chris Rain is kind of right on the edge of being a normal scorer for them. But Bronislaw Burry's got to be better. Seraphin Cody's got to be better, and Jason McNaughton's got to be better on a night-in, night-out basis. I think Minnesota fans will definitely agree with that. We take a look at hits. Martin Sikora with 7. Also had a fight in the game. And then Henrik Nikola with 6. Dmitry Konstantinov only 2. A little underwhelming for him on the hit department there. Then we head to the goaltending. Many believe Eddie Salo is the best goaltender in the world, best goaltender in the league. He did not show that tonight, as Eddie Salo, 34 shots against, only 29 saves for an .853. To be fair, everybody has an off night, and that might just be Eddie Salo's off night, as he gives up 5 on 34 shots. So that is it for the Minnesota Norse. We will now show you the goals for the game tonight. We take a look at it here. Again, Minnesota got off to a start just 5 minutes in. Chris Rain trickles one past Daniel Rye, and then the next 4 belong to Edmonton, with Campbell Jr. getting 1, Sorensen getting 1, Diedrich Langenberg getting 1 before the end of the first period. And all those coming in about a 6-minute, 5.5-minute window there for the Dinos. Only goal of the second period comes to Ricky Durant to make it a 4-1 game. Minnesota fights back with an early goal to make it 4-2, and then Nikola with the power play goal to make it 4-3. Unfortunately, they couldn't get an equalizer, and then Garrett Poiseris with about 5 minutes left puts one past Salo to make it a 5-3 game, and that is your final from Edmonton. So thank you again for joining us for another triple header of PIHANA action. We will have a double header tomorrow night with the Calgary Stallions headed into Detroit as Detroit makes their home opener, and Chicago will head up north to Montreal, Montreal making their home debut as well. Chicago now with Ottawa, the only teams without a point in the standings. So Chicago looking against Montreal, who might be the best team so far early in this season, I would say. But that is going to do it for us here from Edmonton. Thank you again for joining us. Hope you had a fun time watching and a great night. We will see you tomorrow night.